All right, everyone. So, with the holiday this week, I know that the homework is going to be, the days are going to be a little confusing, but don't pay attention to the days. I will change that for you if you're listening to the recordings. So, for this says Monday, but I mean, obviously, this should be Tuesday, right? And I know that we usually read and annotate on Mondays, but we will do it today for Tuesday since we didn't have homework on Monday because of the holiday. Okay, so this week's reading is Tuesday's pink. This week's reading is called Down the Grand Canyon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read the passage, and then we're going to go ahead and work out some math problems. So, down the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon was too enormous for words. My uncle, my aunt, my cousin, and I were planning to go down to the bottom of it. Why do we have to go down on mules? Rick asked. The canyon is a mile deep. We can't carry our equipment down a trail that drops a mile in elevation without using mules, Uncle Paul said. We were on the South Kaibab Trail, which drops off suddenly beyond Yaqui Point. The trail zigzags in a path down the canyon wall called switchbacks. The drop on the downhill side of the trail is so steep that it kind of forces you to look all the way down to the bottom of the canyon. Being another 5 feet in the air on the back of a swaying mule made it seem even farther and more dangerous. We hadn't gone far when Rick called, "Fossil tracks." Uncle Paul, Aunt Carla, and I got off our mules and walked over to a slab of milestone that lay beside the trail. They were lizards, Aunt Carla explained, pointing at the tracks. Uncle Paul got out his guide to fossils and identified these as the tracks of a lizard that had lived 200 million years ago. For every few hundred feet we descend on the trail, we go back a few million years in time, Uncle Paul said. I thought about the distance we were traveling down. That means we're going back millions and millions of years in time, I shouted. I bent down and picked up a handful of sand. Uncle Paul, I said, the thickness of a grain of sand is equal to how old you are. Uncle Paul chuckled. Nice math, Kim. Okay, so Tuesday, remember, I know it's Tuesday, and Monday we usually read and annotate, but we're going to read and annotate for Tuesday. Okay. All right, so 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication. All right, so as I said, as I've been saying in these videos, you can choose to do it the normal way, the standard way, or you can choose to do it in a box method. So I'm going to choose to do it this week in a box method. So I'm going to remember 44 times 2, and I'm going to work it out here. So you have that extra page. You can go ahead and work it out. So 44 times 2. Now, since I have 2 digits up here, guess what? My box is going to also have 2 boxes. I have to divide my box into 2 parts. Okay, so 44 times 2. So I'm going to put the 2 on the outside of the box. Okay, then I'm going to ask myself, okay, how many how many ones are in 44? Obviously, it's 4. And now, how many 10s are in 44? It's going to be 40. Okay, so now you're just going to multiply. So 2 times 40, 2 times 40 equals, 2 times 4 is 8, and then you just add 1 0. That's always nice about when you're adding with, when you're multiplying with zeros, that all you have to do is just multiply the digits and then add the 0 later. So here is 80, and then 2 times 4 is 8. And then what you're going to do with these 2 numbers is you're going to add them together. So 80 plus 8 equals 88. And so 44 times 2 is 88. Okay? Let's try it again. 57 times 5. So I'm going to go down here. Okay, 57. Yep, 2 digits. We're practicing with two digits this week. And then 57 times 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 5 over here. And then 50 and 7. Okay, so 50 and 7. So I'm going to multiply these. So I'm going to say that's 50 times 5. And then 5 times 7. 5 times 7. 50 times 5. Well, I know that 5 times 5 is 25. And then I'm going to add 1 0 since that's what I see. And then 5 times 7 is 35. So then I'm going to go ahead and add these two. So I have 250 plus 35. Don't forget to line up your digits. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2 plus 0 is 2. So your answer is 285. So this would be 285. Okay, so you can go ahead and work it out just like that. Okay, so go ahead and do the rest of those, and that is your homework. And then it's always nice that you have an extra page here to show your work. Okay,